We're about to take the grand village tour of my home, beginning with my house here, going all the way around to little Bob over here, going around to the Adobe house, to my childhood home, to the music studio, to the shops, to something else, to this little workshop, little makeshift area, this wood pile. This is outside by my house, and the wildlife that live up here in this pile in our somewhat off-grid living. So, fair enough, we do have power. We have these power lines, but we do have our own water system. We have this pile up here that the squirrels live in. This is the green waste pile over here, so eventually we'll compost this and use it down here to make soil for the garden. Up here, that is the water tank up there. Let me see if I can zoom in on the water tank. See, you can see up there. And from here, we pivot over to Adobe. So the Adobe house is very, very special because my grandfather built it. He built it like with his hands. Got down, put those blocks in, put the plumbing in here, ran the electric and ran all of these things in here. So this is very special place, and currently my dad lives over here. I live up there, and my uncle, he's a part-timer over here. This is his tractor, and my dad's tractor is over on the other side. And so we are entering the Adobe. This is the Adobe, and so you can see this has been here. I'm going to show you how long this has been here. Here we have in the ground, we're going to do a little pivot here and see in the concrete these handprints over here. These handprints belong to my dad and his family, his siblings. And you can see here, this says 1956. Although, is that like 9/156? Is that transposed? So that's interesting. But that says 1956. And as I turn you guys around here, okay, I'm coming back. So, this has been here all that time. Those are my dad's handprints, smaller than mine. Mine are actually over at the other house, and all of this has been put here by my family. There was nothing here when they came up here. So here, this is the back porch, the Adobe, and my dad and my uncle, very proud of their bottles. Each time they polish one off and put one up there to make their wall, their privacy screen. We have our lemon tree over here. We have the back of the Adobe, and then we're gonna pivot around and see this whole yard here. So we have our olive trees, we have in the back those little orange trees that I planted this year. You can see them from here. Those right there, that little guy, and that other little guy. We have pomegranate trees and the lemons, and that's what we have over here. Over in the next door, we have the grapefruits and an orange tree that is not currently producing. Side entrance to Adobe, Jeep, sheds for lawnmowers, landscaping tools, all of that. The porch. So all of this was planted by my grandma, by my dad, my uncles, and this has all been here for decades, since the 60s it started. And we have this huge date palm and this cactus here, which I'm not sure entirely the name type of this cactus, but it does get these really cool flowers on it. And let's see if we can zoom in on one of the flowers here. It's one of the flowers coming up here. And then we have these geraniums. I believe these are the geraniums. And these are here. My grandma planted these back when she was around and she lived here. This was her house. Grapevine, new grapevine addition. And we move through back out where we came and around to what's going to become more firewood there. And we're going to tour around onto the next ones. So we have over here the grand pile. This tree as well. My grandma planted this when her parents died. She planted this tree, and this tree is no more. As you can see, I had to cut it down, and it's eventually going to turn into firewood, but it is a huge tree, and it's going to require a very large chainsaw, a lot of cutting to break that down. And then over there, that is again where we started, a house over there, some storage. We have some more beautiful trees over here. I love the trees. And these are Palo Verde trees, and these grow somewhat wild over here. These are kind of like weeds growing over here almost. But it is nice because we don't have a ton of trees other than these pine trees, which get really messy, and they're in the process of coming down as they get old, and their bugs are getting them, and just turning them into firewood as needed. This is a driveway. It goes down. This is our entrance here, and then over here we have tiny house. This is storage, tiny house. This is Dave's tiny house, and we put this together. And down here, we're not going to go down here today, but if you would like to see it, let me know and I will go down there another time. But down there is the front. Those are shops made out of bricks that, again, my grandpa built. He built them with his hands. He put them in. He built all of that. There was nothing here when my family came here. And those are down there. Those are highway front, and those are occupied. There's business down there. And so as we move over here, we're a full-on village over here, a visual village, right? And over here, this is the original. This is home base for me. This is where I grew up over here. And as you can see, this is our grapefruit tree. You may have seen me spending some time there with that. And this is the house where I grew up over here. And I'm going to take you guys to see my handprint up here, and then we're going to go down that way. So we're going to look right here. As you can see, this is like inner child healing. So as you can see here, with me and my sisters, that is my hand. That is my right hand. So that is my hand, 1997. And my hand, 2023. And then this goes down here. And back down we go. And now, so we have the dwellings over there, and this is our off the grid, on the grid living. We have the workshop over here, and then as we go over this way here, we're about to enter into the music studio. Okay, again, tractor, that's my dad's tractor. And then over here, getting a little dark here for a moment. And here we have music. We have music in here. So my dad is a musician. I am learning, and he's always played, pretty much always. So he's got his drums, his guitars, his everything, and we have a recording system set up in here. So as I'm learning and going over here and develop my skill, I can spend more time in here and putting that together, and on and onward. That's something. We go. So this is cool, actually. This is a metal trailer that is in here, and then this is an addition room. So this is pretty cool, this room here, and then this metal trailer here. So fun fact, family fact here, is that my grandpa lived here, my grandpa lived here, my grandma lived over there, and he has been gone like almost 20 years now, and my grandma is here. A lot of creaks, sounds over here. Was here quite a bit longer, but they lived in separate houses over here. He lived over here, she lived over there, and that was always the way that was while I was here. And see, since we're not going down front, but at least you guys can see a bit of down front. We're going up, 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 up and away. Now we're going up here. This is a cool spot here. This is a cool spot because let's do like a panoramic view here. So that's the back. That's where we came from. Over here, some storage up here. The road down there, the shops, the mountains, all the way back. And so this is a grand tour of the homestead portion of the Vigil Village, and here it's a good shot too. Here you can see across. Let's flip this again so we can see a little better where we came from. And so here you can see this is where we came from. That's a tiny house there. That's a tiny house. That is a playground, a little pond next to it, soon to be pond. And This is where we just came out of, music studio, shop, home base up there. Up there on the top of that hill, that's pretty cool. Someone lives up there. There's a dome-shaped house up there, the Dome House. And then up on the hill, up there, that, back behind those trees, that's where we started. We walked from there, and then we went up there, up that road. We went over to the Adobe that's behind those trees. We went over this way. Those are the sheds in the Adobe yard, and then the tree house, that is the home base, the workshop, the music studio, and back to where we are now. Okay, so this is the grand tour. Whoa, that's a really close shot of my face. Okay, this is a grand tour of Vigil Village, and let me know which part you guys are interested in seeing, learning more about, and we will go into that one next time.